y'all, here we are. So we right back at it. We're going to talk about college football on another level. So, hot topic, and one of the most dynamic quarterbacks is being talked about in the news right now. And I'm going to say he's a dynamic quarterback.
Josh Allen, right? I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
Josh Stewart. Lamar Jackson is being reported, is being said. Some prominent people are coming out saying that Lamar Jackson needs to switch his position from quarterback to wide receiver. The Louisville product, who this is he done played 3 years there. This past year was his best year compared to his Heisman Trophy year. Okay. Yes, his numbers were better. They didn't pass over the wins, but far as his numbers go,
individual numbers,
individual numbers were very, very much better. But they're saying now that he done put his name in the draft that he should switch over to wide receiver. What's your thoughts?
Stop it. No. This kid's been playing quarterback all his life. This kid is a weapon. Listen, this is the stigma with the whole. Michael Vick started this whole thing.
No, they started Michael Vick.
What I'm saying is, they started that foolishness with the running black. Let's say
did they do that to Vick? Vick was the number one pick in the draft.
No, they didn't do it, Michael Vick.
Steve
as far
McNair.
as saying that he needs to switch positions.
They didn't try to tell Steve to switch,
yes,
did they?
Yes, they did.
I got to be able to finish my point.
Sorry, go ahead.
Coming out of Alcorn State, they were saying that he would probably be better at wide receiver. No, tight end. At tight end rather than play quarterback.
Go ahead, Avery. I'm sorry.
Look, this is what I'm saying. The kid can play quarterback. All right. As in anything, I feel this generation of NFL dealing with a whole bunch of lazy coaches. That's a lazy man's assessment. Mel Kiper. Yeah, I said it. I don't care. I'm saying names. I don't care. That's a lazy assessment.
That's fine with us.
Oh, he needs to be a wide receiver. That's an easy assessment. Why? Because
Bill Polian. You can call him out.
Come on, man. Listen, develop the kid. Develop the kid. Let him go to a system. Let him sit behind a quarterback or whatever it is, like you do with all these other quarterbacks. Oh, they got to learn. They got to sit. Let him sit behind a quarterback and learn the position. Guess what? I think that kid is a weapon, and I've been saying that for a while. And albeit these guys think my theory of hating black quarterbacks should exist, but it doesn't. I think the kid can play. And I think provided he's put in the right place with the right coaches under the right tutelage, I don't see why he can't be successful in the league. I really don't.
Banks, I'm going to let you go.
Why is that?
I agree with Avery, man. I agree with Avery. Mark has this problem when we say develop a quarterback, but it's universal.
That's not the problem that's not the problem I have.
Look, not at all. Man, we know what this is, man. We know what this is. This isn't racism. They don't ask white quarterbacks to transfer over. The only one I can actually ever even remember doing it in the league was Eric Crouch from Nebraska.
Right.
That was it. Lamar Jackson has a higher completion rate than
Josh Allen.
Threw for more touchdowns. I think less interceptions or maybe more, but he threw the ball a lot more than he did. Look, I love what Lamar Jackson said. He said, I can't play wide receiver. I can't catch.
Right.
I'm a quarterback, right? So, I don't understand what – I do understand, but I'm just tired of this narrative of you're black, you're an athlete, you can't play quarterback or whatever. It's right. I agree. I don't know if he even needs to sit behind somebody for a year. Sometimes I feel like the best way to learn is being thrown into the fire and figuring it out on the fly. But I don't even see a problem with him sitting behind somebody for a year and learning to play NFL quarterback.
Very
because I already know what Mark is going to go with this. We've already had this part of this conversation.
Let me ask a question.
I want to hear what Mark has to say.
What is the difference between a Lamar Jackson and an NFL quarterback? If you're drafted and you're paid by an NFL team and you're playing quarterback, aren't you an NFL quarterback?
Yes, but playing the position.
Hold on, wait.
Oh, no.
Don't do that, man.
No, no. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Can I say something to that? Wasn't Carson Palmer was developed? He sat behind the quarterback for a year. Right. So he had to learn the position.
But that's not the point I have.
Not quarterback. Lamar, we're all in agreement about that. Lamar Jackson is a quarterback.
Absolutely.
Making NFL reads, doing some of the things that you have to do in the NFL tighter windows, being faster with your reads, check downs, adjusting coverages, and all this stuff. I don't
Mitch
think.
Trubisky had to do that.
Yeah, I agree with you. What did I say?
But here's what's deep there to me. To say that Lamar Jackson needs to walk into the league and sit behind a quarterback.
I didn't say that.
No, that's what Avery said.
Okay.
That's what I had a problem
No, I
with.
said, what's the problem with him doing that?
I said,
That's basically
the
what I'm
problem is
saying.
this: what type of quarterback are you sitting behind? Because if you're going to sit behind a statue, which you're not, and learn how to change your skill set, your weaponry, then that don't make sense to me. Now, if he goes to Seattle and learns behind Russell Wilson, I don't have a problem with that.
Right.
They're similar kind of quarterbacks. Put him behind a mobile quarterback. Let him learn from that aspect, because the key part is this, and I'm always going to say it. When you put these dudes in a box, Cam had his worst season when they try to make him a pocket quarterback. You do not take a dude that got these kind of tools and try to fit him into a box.
But you're proving my point.
Right, lazy coaching.
Lazy coaching.
Listen, I agree with you totally, but I'm just cleaning up what you said is just let him sit behind the quarterback. I'm just trying to clarify that.
Even if he sat behind a statue, doesn't matter. Here's why. Alex Smith to Colin Kaepernick. See what Jim Harbaugh did with that playbook when Colin Kaepernick started playing? It's all that coach was, and that's the crazy thing about the NFL.
I agree.
Where you go could determine, you could have the greatest skill set.
RG3 would still be playing had he went to an innovative team that had an innovative system.
RG3 would still be playing had Shanahan not tried to kill him.
No, and Mike Shanahan had a great interview about that. His family came to him and they didn't want him running anymore. His father came to Mike Shanahan, and Mike, if you get a chance, watch the interview. That's kind of getting off subject.
I know exactly.
But I don't
what you're
think Shanahan
about.
was trying to kill him. He was trying to develop him behind the scenes to try to get him to be better at reading defenses and doing certain things.
I don't want to go off topic, but I just want to throw something in there.
This is great. This is good show. Good TV.
If Shanahan believed in Robert Griffith III, he'd have never drafted Cousins.
I don't know who made that decision.
I'm just saying.
But we saw how innovative they were that first year. They won the division.
Listen, without a doubt, but they got away from it because of.
No, they got away from it because, like I said, in that interview, he said Robert's father came to me and his mother and said, we don't want our son running like that anymore because he got hurt in that playoff game. And they said they wanted him to be more of a pocket passer.
But let me go back to it again. A guy like Lamar Jackson do not need to be a pocket passer.
I agree. We all in agreement about that.
He's dynamic enough to get to. You can script plays, and again, I agree with you. Yeah. Not even lazy coaching. It's age old.
Lack of innovation.
It's a age old coaching style in the NFL. Still, the guys that I look at are the Seattle when. Look at the Rams. When you look at Philly, these guys are doing things to go and help
in New York.
Their quarterback. Okay, Eli's done, but that's what you have to do, and that's when you got a kid like this. Understand, his legs is special.
I agree, but. What I also think you have to realize now, you're not in college anymore. Everybody's faster. So you may not be able, those dudes that you were able to outrun in college, you may not be able to outrun in the NFL. You have to learn how to get down. He's tall, he's 6'3", but he's slight. Right. So you cannot take these hits. I agree. Use your legs as a weapon.
Well, that's the thing.
Use your legs as a weapon, but know when the play is over, live to fight another day. You're more valuable to us on the field.
No, without a doubt.
And I had a real interesting point.
He would be in baseball camp right now.
Yeah, I started to think about. Do you think athleticism with black quarterbacks hurts their development? And
That's him.
No. Let me explain what I mean. What I mean by that is this. Your athleticism is a weapon. So if you drop back and you make that first read and nothing's there, you know you can escape and you can make a play. Whereas a white quarterback or a less mobile quarterback has to go through all his reads because he knows he cannot get out of the pocket and make a play otherwise. So he might have to go through his three reads and come back.
I really got something to say.
Hold on. But let me say something to that. Do you understand on a defensive side how hard it is to scheme for a mobile quarterback?
I agree.
That's why you have to your whole defensive scheme changes for guys like Russell Wilson.
I agree.
You have to be able to try and keep them in a box.
But listen, Russell Wilson, I'm gonna let you make a point real quick. Russell Wilson escapes to make a play. He doesn't escape and say I'm out. He uses his mobility to create further plays. But I'm sorry, go ahead. Yes, and he
But
protects
I want to
himself.
say this. So this is where this whole black quarterback thing came from, because the conversation that I had, and I forgot who I had it with, but the conversation that I had, and I actually had a conversation with an NFL coach about it. Shout out to my man Scoop Raheem Morris. And the thought process is, when you're a guy that has relied on your athleticism your entire life, and you have dominated your competition with your athleticism your entire life, that is your first instinct. When you get to the NFL, it's a totally different monster. You may have the ability to still dominate athletically, but there's the mental aspect of the game, which now you have to kind of balance out with your athleticism. That's why there's always this kind of discriminatory idea that, the black athlete that's a quarterback can't play quarterback because he's always going to use his feet first. He looks at his first read and then he goes. That's the idea behind it. So that's what I mean by the development of him, and that's what you mean by the development of him as a quarterback. He has to get the IQ part of the game. That's developed in the NFL. In my opinion, I think that's what
there's going to be a second part because let me say it again. That comes from a very much dynamic way of coaching a kid at the end of the day.
Okay.
All right? Your NFL system, if you get a coach, a offensive coordinator that walks in and say, I'm going to script it like this for you, and I'm going to help your growth with the tools you have. I'm going to build off of what you have. Not that I have this playbook and you have to fit into the playbook.
I agree with that. Totally.
That's where the disconnect happens at. That's why I said more times than none, that's what happens. We're going to come right back, y'all. Once again, this is our take. We're rolling here. This is hot.
Yeah,
See you, Leaf.
No doubt.
Sorry you couldn't be here, buddy.
You better leave.
All right, y'all, here we are. We're right back at it. We're going to keep this Lamar Jackson topic going. So, as we was talking about, what's interesting to me is this. I'm looking at the slew of quarterbacks that's on the table. Right now, Lamar Jackson is ranked behind all of the 4 known quarterbacks in this draft coming up.
Right.
He's ranked 5th. The number 1 quarterback right now, who would you say that is? Is it Rosen or is it
Darnold? I think it's a toss-up between the two. Okay. I have no idea who Cleveland's going to take at 1.
Now, as far as what their abilities are, what ability that stands out for you most for when it comes to Rosen and it comes to Darnold? What you think it is?
I don't like none of them kids. That's just me. As watching college football, I'm not really super impressed with those kids. I mean, I think Rosen, what I think a lot of people look at, and I think I kind of try, and again, I go back to the eyeball test. Does that guy look like an NFL quarterback, like right now as he plays? I think Darnold, his last year prior to this year, to me, he looked more
this year, this year he had a bad year.
I didn't really get this year.
Think about something for a moment now. Mm-hmm. Rosen, to me, scrambles a lot of late throws. Even in the college windows, he don't even fit the ball into the college window. You look at Donald. Donald, I thought, was going to have a better year this year. Because he regressed.
I agree with that.
Everybody's board.
I agree with that.
Donald regressed this year, but yet they're the 1 and 2. I just said to y'all earlier in the previous segment, Lamar Jackson had a better year. From his highs, he won the Heisman Trophy, the best player in college football, followed up with a better year, and he's still ranked 5th behind guys that regress, guys that hasn't looked good. UCLA did not blow anybody away this year.
All right. Okay, so another thing, the stigma is that the mobile quarterback, the Lamar Jacksons, they run gimmicky offenses. I've always heard that in circle. Oh, it's a gimmicky offense. You do the read option, and you can't really run those plays in the NFL.
Petrino's going to run that offense with whatever colors at quarterback.
Right, of course.
Let's just keep that in mind.
The thing is, too, I always go back to this. It's just like the same thing with Dak. We can throw Lamar Jackson out there. We could throw Cam out there, right? And we can say, these guys have had we could say Cam had a pretty decent year. Especially, I think they changed the playbook to the Auburn playbook. They gave him some plays. Deshaun Watson also.
Right.
The Tom Savage said, not Tom Savage. I'm sorry. What's the coach's name?
Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien. He basically said, "Yo, what works for you? Let's make it work." The thing is, I always feel like that second year. And again, this is me talking to an NFL coach who's been in the league for some time.
Got you.
When I got the book on you, that's when we tell who the real you is. When I can game plan for you, that's when we tell who the real you is. And, you look at the sample size that Michael Vick gave. When Michael Vick, and I think what happens is you start to say when these guys start to slow down, when they don't have the ability to use their legs, can we say that Michael Vick was a good quarterback as he got older and slowed down?
No.
See, so
I can, but
okay. Go ahead.
The only reason I say that is because I think that time in prison, it gave him a little bit different perspective. When he started playing in Philly, I saw a much better quarterback, a much more accurate.
Again,
a much more accurate quarterback.
But listen, what I'm saying to you,
Right.
though, and that's what I said to you.
Right.
Put him with somebody that understands.
We're all in agreement. Avery said it too.
No, I'm not saying that we are disagreeing.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying to you is that when we look at it,
I have a question. Go
but
ahead.
off the rip, it seems as if Lamar Jackson, because of his color, he automatically got a stigma against him. Right off the bat, because of the tools he has, the first mindset is he's going to be a running quarterback. But if you watched him play in college, he wasn't run first.
But you know what it is? He wasn't. But you know what it is too?
And that's what's crazy.
It's almost like it's too good to be true. Me and you sat last year and we was like, yo, this dude put up 80 touchdowns combined. So ridiculous. How does a guy do that? He's like a walking video game. So I think a lot of coaches are like, that looks nice, but it's too good to be true. Can he last in the NFL like that? And
I think.
What do you hear coaches say all the time? I gotta teach the kid how to protect himself. You know what I'm saying? I gotta protect him. And I'm like, you trying to win or you trying? I want to use a kid to his.
Yes, you
his
do,
potential.
but he's also a commodity, and I hate to use that word, but I mean, if you, like I said, in college, you can outrun certain guys. You're not getting past. You're not beating Luke Kuechly or whoever, just anybody to the sideline or whatever every single time, right? So,
and I got another point. I know what to talk about.
What I think it is that when you, like you said with Watson and with Cam and everything, if you're an innovative coach, you sit down with the kids, say, look, show me your favorite plays in college. All right, we're going to incorporate some of this. But I tell you what, I'm going to add a wrinkle to this. This is your first read here. I want you to look for this backside receiver coming up if that first read is in there. If that first read is in there, that backside receiver is in there, take off. You know what I'm saying? And then that second year, you start bringing them along even more. You add more to the playbook. You expand the playbook. So it's like we're all saying the same thing. He has to go to the right place to be successful. You know what I mean? This can decide his career.
But here's the other assessment though too, Mark. So I'd be interested to see, and I think I hope this is what some scouts or whoever is looking at. And when I watch Lamar Jackson, one thing I do know about, there's a major flaw. When he's played against the elite competition, he's not played well.
But do you know why?
What you gonna say? The offensive line, or
because at the end of the day, just like we know, right? If you go against Alabama, and you don't have the horses to match up against Alabama, what are you gonna look like?
But let's be real, and I'm gonna say this: Deshaun Watson did not have the same horses that Alabama had.
Yes, he did.
I don't know, man.
Money. Do you realize how off of Deshaun Watson's team, how many pros came off of that Clemson team?
But Deshaun Watson
No, of course. Hold on, wait. You know,
I'm just saying.
I got you.
No, I was a Watson fan.
I understand, but Clemson and Louisville, talent-wise, we're not talking about the same
different
thing.
worlds.
Yeah.
Okay, and on top of that, we can argue that Dabo Swinney is a better coach than Petrino. Obviously,
Dabo
Swinney's a hoe, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we know that.
But when you lay out the talent, that's all I'm talking about.
Well, the true nature of my point was also to say, what has Josh Rosen done against elite talent? What has Darnold done against elite talent? And then what has Lamar Jackson done against elite talent? That's why when Deshaun Watson, we were talking about it, and I know everybody believes that I don't like the black quarterback. I was like, yo, he's the safest quarterback. He's played against the best and beat them. Right. How could you not draft that kid?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How could you not draft him?
But again, I'll go back to it. You know why?
Yeah.
We all know why, and that's why I'm sitting here telling you right now.
If you're a real scout, you watch it.
Wait, hold
Yes,
on.
but
wait,
we know
wait.
we know the prototype of what they're looking for.
wait,
They're looking for
Banks.
6'4", 6'5", a certain body type, white. You know what I'm saying? This is what they're looking for in terms of the prototype of what they want as a quarterback.
But Banks, but listen what I'm saying to you. Last year, I sat here and I asked a question. A kid that has, for the past 3 years, has shown that he can get to the big game, and last year, he won the big game. Deshaun Watson
Dominated
beat Alabama.
Dominated
In,
the game.
in the biggest game of the year, and you come out and you skip over him in the draft. Why? Because, again, and now I'm sitting here saying to you once again, the 1 and 2 quarterbacks have not had the year that this kid had, but they're still ranked 1 and 2 when it comes to the draft. And when you get the Mel Kipers, when you get the other fool, this is what they do religiously. They don't want the only quarterback that I've seen was Cam Newton, was a clear number 1 black quarterback going into the draft.
And Vic.
And well, Vic, yeah, okay.
Remember Achilles Smith?
No, Achilles Smith was never supposed to be up there.
Yeah,
he wasn't even supposed to be up there.
But he should have.
Yeah, that was a reach. I don't know what was going on there.
I'm like, yo.
But let me go back to what I'm saying to you is there's a reason why these 3 guys are ahead of him.
4 guys.
It's 4 guys in total. I'm just saying. 3 of them.
And the dude kid from Wyoming or something.
Yeah,
like that?
Josh Allen. Baker Mayfield too.
Baker Mayfield, who again to me, I'm like, come on, man.
5'10", 5'11".
Come on, man. And that's what I say. It has nothing to do with size.
I'm not even going to.
It has nothing to do with height.
I'll turn to the ball if I still talking about Baker Mayfield.
Okay. It comes back to the same thing, and the same narrative is always going to be.
We all know
That's
that.
what it comes down to.
We know
Lamar
that.
Jackson needs to be a quarterback in the NFL. I just pray that,
got the
because
question.
let me tell you right now, any one of those top 4 guys that we just talked about, if they go to Cleveland, I don't care what they have. Cleveland's a bad team. I don't care what you do. Cleveland is a bad team.
Which is
why
not
they
that far off,
They
though,
probably
man.
should draft
They're a bad
Saquon
team.
Barkley.
They
I
not
don't think
that
he's going to
far
be a
off.
top 5 pick. I don't think he should be. But as you talking about a transcendent player like the
course.
big
Oh, we getting
they probably yeah.
But let me
But
go
let
back
me
and
ask
say
this
it again.
question. I had a question.
Go ahead. Ask.
So where does Lamar Jackson fit? Yeah, see, that's
I have a couple teams for you.
Yeah, I got a great place for him. I think the Jets is a good place for him.
Hell no.
No, let me explain why.
You know who the Jets OC is?
You know what?
Do you know who the Jets OC
No,
is?
I ain't even talking about OC.
Marco wants to see the brother go to waste. That's why. You know
I don't want to see him go to waste either. I want to see Lamar Jackson go in the league and blow people away. I'm talking about. I'm not even talking about the Jets OC. I'm just talking
That's
about.
why I said no.
I got you.
That's why I said
I'm
no.
talking about if you want. Let's talk about the Jets going like this is a Giants town or whatever. You know what? Let's try something completely different.
It's the lights.
Yeah, let's try something completely different and see if we can be successful.
Where did Frank Reich just got hired to?
I don't.
He went to the Colts.
That's a place that I could see him.
I'm just so interested to see where the kid goes.
RPO coordinator.
I'm turning the ball.
Arizona Cardinals is another place. Innovative coaches there. No, Bruce Arians is
gone.
leaving, but I'm forgetting who they brought in.
Steve Wilkes.
Wilkes
from Carolina.
You know, another guy again. These
black head coach as well.
These
That's
are
probably
2
going to have
places.
give this guy a little bit more leeway than some of these other coaches.
2 places that I would love to see him go and land at, and they're pretty much high up in the draft as well.
Yeah.
So
I don't think he's going to go to the
on
Giants, but the
right.
Giants have a real innovative guy, a head coach, Pat Shermer.
I think we out of time, yo.
Yeah, I think we are too, boy. I tell you, these
I mean, we
plugs.
got a few more seconds.
Shameless
No?
plugs.
straight.
Yeah,
good?
we're definitely
good?
straight. Because the Giants, and once again, why do we talk about the midgets at all?
I don't even know because you got a midget right there.
There you go, midget fan.
I'm all right with it.
y'all.
I'm okay with it.
Listen, this is our take. What's yours? Peace out.
Later, y'all.
Hip hop.